Imagine standing at the edge of a vast, uncharted wilderness, your heart pounding with the promise of something greater. Yet every time you reach for it, an invisible weight pulls you back, whispering that it's safer to stay where you are. We've all felt it, that restless ache for a life beyond the ordinary, a life where dreams don't just flicker in our minds, but take root in reality. But then the hours slip away, swallowed by endless distractions, and we're left wondering why we can't break free. It's not laziness that holds us captive, nor a lack of desire, though that's what we tell ourselves in the quiet moments of self-doubt. Our minds are ancient machines, sculpted by eons to flee from hardship and cling to the soft embrace of comfort. Think about the last time you vowed to change, maybe to create something meaningful or to reshape your body and spirit. The vision was vivid, almost tangible, but the first step felt like lifting a mountain, so you turned away instead. This is the paradox of being human. We crave growth, yet we shrink from the very effort it demands. Our brains, clever as they are, trick us into believing that safety is success, that stillness is peace. But what if that stillness is a cage? What if the exhaustion we feel isn't from trying too hard, but from resisting the pull of our own potential? The truth cuts deeper than we'd like to admit. Every unstarted dream is a quiet surrender, a choice to let fear wear the mask of fatigue. And yet, within that same truth lies a spark of hope, because we are not doomed to this cycle. You see, the mind can be reshaped, its instincts redirected, not through sheer force, but through subtle, deliberate acts. Motivation is a fleeting guest, arriving unannounced and leaving without warning. But action is a choice we can seize. Consider the weight of a single step, so small it seems trivial, yet heavy with possibility. If you long to craft a story that echoes through time, don't burden yourself with a tome, just let one sentence spill onto the page. The beauty of this lies in its simplicity. When the task is so slight that refusal feels absurd, the mind has no excuse to retreat. That first move, however tiny, ignites a flame, a chemical rush that whispers, "Keep going. This feels good." Momentum is a silent ally, building strength from the ashes of hesitation. What begins as a single word or a fleeting stretch can swell into chapters, into habits, into a life you once only imagined. We often think success demands a heroic surge of will, a battle cry against our weaker selves. But the real secret is quieter. It's in crafting a world where effort flows naturally, where choice becomes instinct. Picture your mornings not as a test of resolve, but as a dance of small rituals. Lay out your shoes the night before, and suddenly the run you dread becomes the path you follow without thought. Systems are the scaffolding of transformation, stripping away the friction that stalls us. Remove the temptations from your reach, and the decision to act no longer feels like a war, it's just what happens next. This isn't about perfection or punishing yourself for the days you falter. It's about designing a life where the right thing isn't the hardest thing, where progress is the default. Now imagine a rule so gentle it barely feels like discipline. If it takes less than 2 minutes, do it now. Want to immerse yourself in wisdom? Read one line. Want to tame the chaos around you? Clear one corner. It sounds almost too easy, but that's where its power hides, within that first, effortless nudge. Once you begin, the mind shifts, the task shrinks. And what once loomed like a giant becomes a series of steps you're already taking. This is the alchemy of action. The smallest spark can set the whole forest ablaze. A snowball perched at the peak needs only a push to roar down the slope, gathering size and speed with every turn. We're wired to chase rewards, to savor the sweetness of triumph, even in its smallest forms. So when you finish that fleeting task, let yourself taste the victory, a song, a moment of stillness, a breath of pride. These rewards aren't bribes, they're signals, training your soul to see effort as joy rather than burden. Over time, the act itself becomes the prize, and the cycle of avoidance crumbles. Look at those who've carved their names into the fabric of history. Not one was born a titan of discipline. They stumbled, they doubted, they lingered in the same shadows you know too well, but they chose to move anyway. Failure isn't the enemy we've made it out to be. It's a companion on this jagged road. The danger isn't in falling nits and letting that fall convince you the journey's over. A single off day doesn't erase your worth or your capacity to rise again. What matters is the next choice, the quiet resolve to step back into the dance, even when the music feels faint. So here's the invitation. Strip your ambitions down to their barest bones, so light they can't crush you. Make the first move so simple that your mind, clever as it is, can't argue its way out. Build a world where success isn't a mountain to conquer, but a river to flow with, guided by the currents of habit. Use those fleeting minutes to trick yourself into motion, and watch how the hours bend to your will. You don't need to feel ready. Readiness is a myth spun by fear to keep you waiting. The only moment that exists is the one you're in, and it's pleading for you to claim it. Your dreams aren't distant stars. They're seeds buried in the soil of now, aching for the touch of your hands. Pick one small thing, just one, and let it live today, because tomorrow is a promise no one can keep. This isn't about becoming someone else. It's about unbecoming the version of you that's been hiding. The life you long for isn't waiting for permission, it's waiting for you to begin. What holds us back isn't the size of our dreams, but the stories we tell ourselves about why they can't start. So tell me, what tale will you rewrite today, and what first step will you take to make it real?